Hello, everybody. Here I am by myself today. It's Kate Kunkel, and I'm here to continue our series of educational events and programs and courses, all aimed at helping you protect your health, improve it, so that you have a happier, healthier brain. So today I'm going to talk about grounding because most of us really don't get enough time in nature. We don't dip our toes into the sand or the water. And I think it's a really important thing. So I've got a little presentation I'm going to go over in a moment with you about that. Next week, I'm going to be on by myself again because I think it's important to talk about gut health. I haven't really done that here on the lives before. And I think it's important because, especially now, people are hopefully getting back into a little more normal life pattern and doing more home cooking rather than eating takeout, and being more aware of what's going in your body so that you've got a healthier brain. Our guts are, everything starts there, right? The gut and the brain are intimately connected. So next week, I'm going to do a little presentation on that. And finally, before I start grounding, start our exercise in grounding, I wanted to share with you a really cool thing that I have going on with another member of our group. Her name is Jayanthi Sridhar, and she and I got together some time ago with this idea of putting together a virtual retreat. And so next Monday, April 19th, it will start. I'll be live on, it'll be a Zoom webinar. If you haven't registered, there will be a link here below so you can register. It's 5 beautiful presentations that will help you use music, art, journaling, and of course, mindfulness to help you create a more joyful, peaceful state of mind. And all of those things help you protect your brain and your memories and just, heck, make you feel better. So we're going to be doing that starting next Monday. It'll be 5 days. And then the ladies will come on with me during our last webinar, and we'll all have a time for you to ask questions, that sort of thing. So I do hope you join us. The registration link will be below when this is finished live. So now I'd like to share with you this little presentation. It's really short, on grounding and what you can do to use it to help your brain be healthier. So here we go. Thanks so much for joining me for this little talk on earthing or grounding. They're the same thing. You'll hear it referred to as different ways. Whatever you call it, it's important for our physical, emotional, mental, and brain health. So what is earthing? It is a simple act of connecting our bodies to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. And it couldn't be more simple. By walking in the wet sand on the beach with your bare feet, by wiggling your toes in the grass, by gardening, it's an amazing way to earth, even hugging a tree, as long as the tree is actually planted in the earth and not in a pot in an atrium somewhere. It's that simple. But why is it necessary and how does it work? We are electromagnetic beings. Contrary to what the pharmaceutical industry would have us believe, that we are only operating on chemicals, we are also electromagnetic. We need those two things to make the cells in our bodies communicate: electrical charges and chemical reactions. The problem is we are not getting enough negative charge into our bodies most of the time. So we're going to get that from the earth because it is a source of beneficial negative energy. And we can plug right into that, just as we can plug our homes, our home's electrical system into the ground. We know we have to ground our electrical systems, and we have to do the same with our bodies. The problem is, of course, that we are disconnected from the earth most of the time. We wear rubber shoes, we walk on concrete, we walk on synthetic carpets. We're in high rises far away from the earth. We can't even get our hands in the soil. You live in a city like this, you can't garden, you can't get your hands in the soil. And many people have a lack of access to the healthy outdoors. So that causes a myriad of problems, including sleep and, oh, well, we'll go over all the things that it can help you with to ground so you can understand what we miss when we don't ground. So what are the benefits? So many, I mean, these are just a few here. Our physiology needs to be stabilized to be healthy. When we ground, we can actually reduce inflammation. There's an action that goes on when our feet are on the ground that actually helps reduce inflammation, and it's almost instantaneous. It improves our blood flow. Well, you've got that negative charge. It helps move the electrons and it improves our blood flow. It improves our energy, and we can sleep better. If you sleep better, you have better energy and your blood is flowing better, you are going to feel better. You're going to have a better sense of well-being. And I just learned this myself not too long ago. It actually helps blood sugar levels stabilize. It seems to have something to do with that electrical charge in our bloodstream. It also helps our metabolism speed up, and the whole thing with pain. It's amazing how it helps with pain reduction. One of the ways to do it, I'll talk in a minute, is by actually immersing our bodies, our legs, the lower legs, into, if you have inflammation of the legs or edema or anything like that, you can actually just immerse your legs in the ground, in like wet sand or something, and actually helps reduce pain and inflammation, and it helps stress reduction. It improves the dispensing of cortisol. It stabilizes our hormones. And I mentioned before sleep, but it actually improves not just how long we sleep, but the sleep patterns, because I've mentioned before, and we mentioned it in our previous video with Randy Light, that we don't need just amounts of sleep. We want the right patterns of sleep. We need to go through all of these stages of sleep, and earthing or grounding helps us do that. What does this have to do with brain health? Well, all of those things I just talked about, and we've talked about them many times in Brain Health Matters, is that they help our brains. If we have proper blood sugar levels, if we do not have huge amounts of inflammation, if our stress is controlled, if we have the right amount of sleep, all of those things are essential for a healthy brain. So how's the best way to do this? Well, of course, I'm all about walking barefoot in the sand or wiggling my toes in the grass, even walking on gravel if you can stand it, doing a labyrinth in your bare feet, if the labyrinth is with grass or earth or stones. Hug a tree that is in the ground, not in a pot, in a high rise, like I said before. Putting your hands in the soil, gardening. So that does so many things. Firstly, you're also getting, if you're putting your hands in the soil, if you're gardening, you're not just grounding or earthing, you're also accessing those probiotics, the bacteria that are in the soil that help our gut microbiome. So gardening, putting your hands in the soil, and it doesn't have to be growing food, although that would be ideal, of course. If you're planting flowers, whatever you're doing to get your hands in the soil, work in the garden barefoot, just be careful, of course, but those are ways to get grounded. Now, unfortunately, not all of us have access to those outdoor things. Fortunately, even though technology is a problem for us in many ways, technology is also helping us to ground if we are in a situation where we can't get outside and do it naturally. There are all kinds of devices that help you connect to the earth. And they're like grounds that go into the electrical ground in your house. So we have those grounding plugs in our electrical outlets, and there are things that can actually connect to those and then On the other end are grounding mats like you see here, or pillows, or sheets, or mattresses. There are many ways to actually connect your grounding system in your house or your high rise, if you're in a high rise or wherever you are. If there's a way to get into the electrical ground, then you can ground with these products. There's even a way to earth your computer, because our computers are huge sources of electromagnetic impulses that are not healthy for us, and we can actually ground them so that we are not getting zapped with our continual use of the computers. So there are many ways to do this, as I just said, and grounding or earthing is just one way that we can help improve our brain health. And I share a whole bunch more in Tune Up Your Brain. And if you're interested in learning other ways of becoming more mindful and joyful, and to use music and meditation and earthing, go to Brain Health Programs at katekunkel.com. But you could also learn much more about earthing online. Dr. Axe has a great article about it. She calls herself the intuition physician, Dr. Laura Kniver. I think that's how you pronounce it. She has great information. She's very adamant about the importance of grounding. And then there are a couple of movies, the earthing movie and the grounded movie. Check them out. I know it's going to make a huge difference. If you practice grounding or earthing, you will feel better and your brain will be happier. So I hope that was a good information for you. There are so many things we can do every day to look after our brains. Earthing is one of them, of course. Drink a lot of good water. And if you can get it alkaline, even better. And that can be as simple as putting a few drops of lemon juice in it. I was just talking to a vibroacoustic therapy student, and we were talking about the importance of water. And with grounding, we are electrical beings. So we need water to help conduct all of the electrical charges and the chemical charges in our bodies. So those are two things that can help you right away feel better, reduce inflammation, get the blood flowing, and the brain working a little bit more accurately and healthily. That's all I'm going to share today. I'm so glad I see a few people on live with me. I'm delighted to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you back here next week when we're going to talk about all the things we can do. Well, some of the things we can do to help our guts be healthier. Take good care. Bye for now.